Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Georgina and on this channel I pretty much just show my life, which includes makeup, skincare, fashion, food and all that good stuff. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then I'd really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up on this video and also subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified on when I post a new video. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a half and half makeup challenge. I'm going to be using my most cheapest makeup on this half and my most expensive on this half. Now, I'm not someone who has lots of bougie makeup brands, so a lot of this is still very affordable makeup on my most expensive side, but I love watching these sort of challenge videos and the half and halves and like the comparisons. I enjoy them. I thought I'd just film one today. I've already primed and colour corrected because they were the same products, so I just used it all over. So the first step is foundation, and for my cheapest side I'm going to be using the Ordinary Serum Foundation in 1.0N, and my expensive side I'm going to be using the XX Revolution Tinted Moisturiser in Light Sand. These are my first products. I think I might start with my expensive side. I love this foundation. Isn't it so like cute as well? Quite like, even though it's a tinted moisturiser, it actually has quite a lot of coverage, which is good because even sometimes when I don't want tons of coverage, I want something, so I use this. Like I say, this is in Light Sand and it's like my perfect colour, because I was worried. The only thing is, from ordering online, is obviously you can't see if it's the right shade or not, but I was quite lucky and I think I got a good shade. See, look at the difference. Like, even though, like I say, it's a tinted moisturiser, it really gives some lovely coverage, and in real life my skin just looks very sort of natural, like, and glowy. You can tell I've got something on, but it's not like really full coverage. I really do like this and very highly recommend. Most expensive, done. So now for the cheapest, product. And to be honest, these products are the complete opposites of each other, because this is like a tinted moisturiser, so it's meant to be like lightweight, light coverage, very quick and simple to apply. Whereas this, the Ordinary Serum Foundation, is very full coverage. It's still lightweight, but it's very full coverage. Honestly, feels really weird to only do half my face. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm only pouring out enough product for half of it, not for my full face. Definitely notice a difference. Like, see, this is what I love about half and halves, because I knew this Ordinary Serum Foundation was full coverage anyway, but to compare it to the tinted moisturiser from XX Revolution, you can just see the difference, and that's what I love about these sort of half and half videos. Sealers on the cheaper side. For under my eyes, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in C1. And to cover my blemishes, I'm using the MUA Pro Base Concealer in 102. So these are my most cheapest concealers. my more expensive side, for my under eyes again, is another Makeup Revolution one, but it's the Eye Bright Concealer in Porcelain. And then for my blemishes, I'm using the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser in Light. For powder, on my cheaper side, I'm using the MUA Pro Based Full Coverage Matte Pressed Powder in 110. And then for my expensive side, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder in Pink Blossom. I like to sort of laugh at powder. I'm using the MUA first, by the way. I always like to laugh at powder because I always like to say it's the most boring step because you don't really see much of a difference, but it's the most necessary because it really does help make my makeup last a lot longer. I'm just using the Rimmel on my most expensive side. For eyebrows, for my cheaper side, I'm using the Primark Nude Brow Pencil. I've had this brow pencil for years, honestly, a good few years. I don't even think Primark sell this anymore. I like to use this one more on days where I'm going for more natural because it's quite a warm tone brown. It's a very like warm tone brown. And then for my most expensive side, I'm using my XX Fine Brow Pencil in Deep Brown. And this one is my perfect shade, as you may know if you've watched my full face of favourites. Just want to swatch them so you can see like the comparison in colour. So that's the Primark one, that's the XX Revolution one. The XX Revolution one is my perfect colour, and like you can see that the Primark one is just a bit too warm, which is why I only use it on my natural days. I really don't like about that Primark one is the like nib on it is just, it's just too like fat or thick. Can you see what I mean? It's like, it's not an easy brow product to be really precise with your brows. Whereas if I show you my XX Revolution one, which is the one I'm about to use, it's really like a very thin nib. So that's one of the bad things about this, but I've got one of Primark's newer brow pencils and it is a lot better. Now for the fun part, it's the eyes. And on the cheaper side, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Violet Rose eyeshadow palette. It's very just simple, basic, neutral, but it's a very stunning palette. And then on my more expensive side, I'm using the Naked 3 Urban Decay palettes, which just looks like with a very dirty mirror, but it just looks like this. Again, also very simple and stunning. I don't really know what eye look I want to do though, because I want to try and make the sides match as most I can, but here I am looking at my eyebrows and they're two completely different shades. Use this kind of cool tone brown in my crease. I kind of forget about this eyeshadow palette sometimes because it's really good, but because it's all just neutrals, I don't really go for neutrals very much. So I don't really use this palette a lot. I like to take this palette if I'm going away, because then usually if I'm going away, I like to always have one neutral palette, and because this is just so small and like compact, this one I usually always take with me. Putting that brown in my crease. I'm gonna take this kind of like rose gold bronzy kind of colour, and I'm just gonna put that, I think, all over my lid, honestly. It's very simple, like bronzy rose gold. I'm just going to use the excess that's on the fluffy brush that I did the crease and just sort of blend it all in together. Very simple, but sometimes simple is better. Am I wrong? I'm using the Urban Decay Naked palette. I actually got given this as a Christmas present. Just dropped the eyeshadow brush. Bear with. I actually got this as a Christmas present from my sister a few years ago. And I used to, I mean, you could probably tell, it's been very well loved and used. I used to use it all the time because when I was younger, I only used to wear like natural makeup for like school and college, because obviously I don't know if it's the same in every school in the UK, but the school I went to and the college I went to in the UK, you had to wear very natural, if you wanted to wear makeup it had to be very light natural makeup. You weren't allowed to use big bold colours or anything like that. This eyeshadow palette I always went to, which is why it's very well loved. But again, like I was saying with the Makeup Revolution one earlier, I just don't go for natural colours anymore. So these palettes just don't get so much love. I think it's because I was so in, obviously like I was saying, at school and college, you weren't allowed to use colour, like you weren't allowed to have colourful eyeshadow. So I think because for so many years I was forbidden to use colour, like now I'm like an adult and I can do what I want, I feel like I'm just like, I want to use all the colour and I want to use this and this. I don't want to go for natural. I don't want to go for natural colours anymore. Using the shade, if I can, Limit, which is this one. I'm just packing it on a brush and I'm going to put that in my crease. I'm just gonna use shade Buzz, which is the shade next to it, which is like a, again, it's like it's a bit more pink toned compared, oh no, wrong one, compared to the Makeup Revolution one. I'm just gonna do the same as what I did with the Makeup Revolution one and just put it all over my lid, honestly. I try to make a match as best I can. They are different obviously, but I think I've done okay. I don't know which palette I prefer, honestly. I think for the matte, like the matte shades, I kind of prefer the Naked one, but for the shimmer I prefer the Makeup Revolution. But honestly, for a natural eye, I think they're both pretty good. Mascara time, baby. So for my cheaper side, this is like one of my favourites. I was going to actually put this, if you watch my favourites, then you know my favourite mascara is the Maybelline, is it Maybelline? Sky High mascara. And if I didn't have that, then this definitely would have been put in my favourites, and it's the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara in Very Black. And I just love this mascara because I love the wand on it. I prefer a more small, like bristly wand, if you can sort of see what I mean. It's so like small. I do highly recommend, and it really does lengthen your lashes. And then for my more expensive side, I'm going to be using the Max Factor False Lash Effect Mascara in black. This one was a mascara that I had to get I had to use it a few times before I loved it. But again, it's because it's a lot bigger wand. When I first got this mascara and tried it out, it was very like watery and very like liquidy, and I hated it. I hate mascaras like that. Obviously the more I've used it and the more it's like run out, the more I've loved it. And this gives me such beautiful like fluffy lashes. Start with my Wet n Wild one first. A pretty mascara, and usually it would give a lot more length, but this mascara is running out, but I think it's done a pretty good job still. For the Max Factor one, so what are we? Team Wet n Wild or Team Max Factor? I think Max Factor. It just gives a little bit more. I don't know if it is because, like I said, my Wet n Wild one is running out, whereas the Max Factor one is still pretty full. So I don't know if that's why it's like given more colour, but I don't know. Bronzer time. So for my cheapest bronzer, I'm using the I Heart Revolution Summer of Love Triple Baked Bronzer, which looks like this. As you know, a fave. And then for the expensive side, I'm using the Body Shop Shimmer Waves Bronzer, which looks like this. This is going to be weird to do half and half because if you've watched my favourites, then you know that I only really bronze my forehead. So this feels quite weird. Try not to go too heavy because I don't want it to look ridiculous. I think for bronzer, I prefer the Summer of Love. It's definitely what I prefer because it's more like, kind of like, I like a bronzer that's like a natural like sun-kissed glow. I feel like this Body Shop one is just a bit too cool toned for my liking. Blusher. My cheaper side is the Laville Cosmetics Peach Haze, I cannot speak today, powdered blusher. Both these blushes I'm about to show you I love on my natural days because they're both the type of blushes that you can quickly throw on and not have to worry about them being too harsh. So this is my cheapest, and then for my most expensive is the Milani Luminoso in number 5. Like I say, I love both of these because they're both like the peach coral tones, so I don't have to worry about applying either of them and it looking ridiculous. prefer in blush because they're both very different, even though they're both like these sort of peach orangey coral tones. The La Ville one is a matte blush, whereas the Milani one's golden. The Milani one's definitely more pigmented, and you definitely don't have to use as much product. But I think they're both really nice, honestly. I love them both. Highlighter time. For the cheaper side, I'm using the Beauty Bay Flash highlighter. Beautiful. And then the expensive side, I'm using the Makeup Revolution Soft highlighter palette. I think, so for the Beauty Bay one, I'll apply first because it's just one shade. I'm just using the Beauty Bay one as well for my inner corner for my eye and the brow bone as well. The Soft palette, I was thinking of using this one because the Beauty Bay one is very white, and I was thinking that they would sort of match quite nicely. So I'm going to use the more sort of whitey one from Soft's Makeup Revolution highlighter palette. And again, I'm going to use the same one for my inner corner and my brow bone. Beautiful. I do love both these highlighters. I like Soaps because of the variety, but the Beauty Bay one kind of gives more of the like wet highlighter look, but they're both amazing, honestly. Finally, for lips today, I'm going to be using, on my cheaper side, the Revolution Pro Hydro Matte Liquid Lipstick in Swerve. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen this lipstick quite a fair bit in my reels, but this next one you've probably also seen quite a fair bit as well, which is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Lip in All Natural Nude. So cheapest, most expensive. Revolution is more of like a straight up like nude, whereas the Physicians Formula is quite like a pinky nude. I'm just swatching them on my hand for you. Actually, looking at them on camera, this one is the Revolution Pro. This is the Physicians Formula. You can tell how similar they are though. But I think I prefer the Physicians Formula. It's just a little bit more like my type of colour, but both of these are very good. Just starting off with the Revolution Pro. It was so weird to apply only half the lips, like only apply lipstick on half of my lips. Doesn't feel normal. Now using the Physicians Formula. I think that's the most messily, like, is that a word, messily? Struggle applying those. I definitely prefer the like dofer on the Physicians Formula and the formula of it as well, because it's a lot like thicker and the dofer is just very thin and simple. Whereas the Revolution Pro one, that was the one I was having trouble with. It's nice, but it's just a bit, because it's quite like a liquidy formula, it's like very runny, and the dofer on it is really big. So doing half of my lip with this was quite a challenge. But altogether, I don't think they're that bad. You can definitely see this one's darker, but I think they're pretty good. Let's see the totals on screen now. So the cheapest, most expensive, because that's what I would love to know, is what the total of all this makeup is. And which side do you prefer? Do you prefer the cheap side or the expensive side? I don't know, honestly. There's parts I love about different sides, but altogether, I don't think it looks too bad. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified on when I post a new video. If you have any other ideas on if you want to see like more half and half comparisons, because like I say, I love watching these type of videos and comparing brands and makeups and things like that and formulas. So if you've got any more ideas on half and halves that you would like to see, then do let me know, because I will happily film them. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!